Here's the scene. You're in the gym. The weights are clanking. The playlist is so intense it makes the treadmill nervous. You've been consistent, partly because your trainer texts you the day before like, see you tomorrow, which is basically the adult version of accountability. Then, mid-workout, you yarn, not because you're bored, not because you're lazy, not even because you slept terribly. And when your trainer says, maybe your brain needs more oxygen, it sounds logical. But the science has a plot twist. Let's talk about why humans yawn, why it can happen during training, and why yawning is often a sign your body is trying to keep you sharp. First, the classic myth. Yawning means you need oxygen. Researchers actually tested this. People breathed pure oxygen, higher carbon dioxide, normal air. No meaningful change in yawning. An exercise that doubled breathing rate didn't increase yawning effect. Translation? Yawning is not your body's emergency oxygen mask. So if it's not low oxygen, then why does it happen? Yawning is ancient and shows up across many species. In humans, it pops up in unpredictable moments. Waking up, getting drowsy, being understimulated, and sometimes right before performance. One of the most supported modern ideas is this. Yawning helps regulate the brain, especially temperature and alertness. Think of your brain like the world's most expensive laptop. It runs hot when it's working. Your body has to manage that heat in real time. Researchers, including Andre Gallup, have proposed yawning as a brain cooling mechanism. A yawn includes a big jaw stretch and deep inhalation, which can increase blood flow in the brain and help move warmer blood away from the skull while bringing in cooler air. And that jaw stretch is not just dramatic facial yoga. The stretch may help pump blood through the head and neck a bit more efficiently. If you've ever felt a yawn coming on and tried to stop it, you know your nervous system is like, nope, this one's happening. That's how strong this reflex is. There's also the thermal window idea. Yawning seems constrained to certain temperature ranges and less common at extremes, consistent with yawning being useful for cooling only when cooling actually works. Now make that practical. When you train, especially hard cardio intervals or heavy lifting, your body temperature rises. A yawn may be one way your nervous system nudges your brain back toward optimum operating conditions. So no, yawning during training doesn't automatically mean you're tired. It may mean your brain is trying to stay on point. Second big idea, yawning is a state change switch. Notice when yawns show up. Sleep to wake, relaxed to alert, nervous to focused, bored to engaged. A yawn may be your nervous system's way of saying, we're changing modes. That might explain why some athletes yawn before competition. Speed skater Apollo Ono got attention for yawning before races. He said it helped him feel better. Like it, quote, gets the oxygen in and the nerves out. It's not truly raising blood oxygen, but it may be shifting his brain state from anxious to ready. Bring that into the gym, right before a heavy set, or when you transition from warm-ups to intensity. A yawn can pop up like a built-in gear shift. Focus up. Even though yawning isn't triggered by low oxygen, it does force a deep breath. That deep breath can reset your breathing pattern. If you've been bracing hard, having shallow breathing, or accidentally holding your breath between sets, a yawn may be a breathing reboot. And if you've ever trained hard, you know it's surprisingly easy to forget you're supposed to breathe like a normal mammal. Now the social side, because yawning is also a group sport. Contagious yawning is real. You see someone yawn and suddenly your face copies that. Studies link contagious yawning to social cognition and empathy. Related factors and brain imaging work suggest the mirror neuron system can be involved when people observe yawns. From an evolutionary angle, contagious yawning may also help groups synchronize, like a subtle clue to shift alertness or rest. In other words, yawning can be communication, not just fatigue. So if you yawn in the gym and your training partner yawns, and then the trainer yawns, congratulations. You just started a nervous system chain reaction. And while we're here, if you like this kind of everyday biology breakdown, hit like and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more people who want health explained in plain English. Now, should you worry about yawning during training? Most of the time, no. Occasional yawning during exercise is usually just physiology doing physiology. Temperature regulation, state switching, breathing reset. But here's the doctor moment. If yawning is excessive, new, and paired with symptoms like dizziness, fainting, chest pain, or shortness of breath that feels out of proportion, don't just chalk it up to brain cooling. Talk with your clinician. Sometimes frequent yawning can be tied to sleep deprivation, sleep apnea, medication effects, and other issues worth evaluating. Also, practical safety note. If you're yawning repeatedly while driving, that's your body waving a big red flag for sleepiness. That's the time to pull over, move around, and reset because biology doesn't care about your schedule. Now let's make this practical. If you yawn during workouts, try these quick experiments. Number 1, check sleep quality. Not just hours, quality. Poor sleep can make yawning more likely, even if your motivation is strong. Number 2, check heat and hydration. If you're training hot, your brain may be trying to cool. Try a fan, a cooler room, lighter clothing, or a quick face cool down, and see if yawning changes. Number 3, check your breathing between sets. Practice a slow inhale and long exhale during rest. If the yawning drops, you are probably running a little shallow breath mode. Number 4, check stress. If yawning happens right before your hardest sets, it might be your nervous system smoothing out anxiety so you can perform. That's not failure, that's regulation. And here's a fun experiment. Before your next workout, try 3 slow, intentional yawns. You might feel silly, that's fine. Your brain doesn't care about your dignity. It cares about your readiness. If you notice you feel calmer and more focused afterwards, you just discovered a free nervous system tool. Here's my favorite reframe. Yawning isn't always a sign you're bored. Sometimes it's a sign you're adapting. Your body is learning to handle new demands. Heat, exertion, focus. And yawning may be a part of that calibration. So the next time you yarn in the gym, don't apologize. You might be watching your biology do something brilliant and ancient. Regulate your brain and keep you ready. One last little curiosity. Yarning feels good because it's a stretch. It's your face, jaw, throat, and even your chest doing what your hamstrings do after a long day. Lengthen, reset, and release tension. So sometimes a yarn is less I'm sleepy and more my system wants a quick reboot, especially in warm rooms or high effort moments. Before you go, check out the video here for more metabolic root cause tips or subscribe here. And I only ask that you stay curious, stay consistent, and yarn proudly.